Hey everybody, welcome to Creative Conversations with David and Donna. I'm David.
And I'm Donna.
And I'm sick.
And you're back.
And
He's sick, but he just got back from Disney.
Yay, Disney World.
He left, let's see, we talked to each other Sunday before last.
And then I left that Tuesday.
And then came back Sunday.
Right,
so you were there a nice long time.
So now here we are recording. Sorry, I interrupted
you. Oh, it's okay. I was just going to say, and it's your mom's first time.
Yeah.
And so we'll record this podcast to start off anyway, all about your trip. So
all about my trip to Disney. High points of the trip. Well, we went to Disney World in Orlando, Florida. I've been a couple of times, never with my mom though. So this was her first time. That was very fun to see because she's like a kid, like, oh, Mad Hatter and Alice and all of that. I went to every park, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. By far, Epcot's my favorite. Still is. It's always been my favorite. I had never been to Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. Mm-hmm. So those are my first time going to that. And I was very excited because Hollywood Studios just opened Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge, which was the most amazing experience of my life. And I still have Epcot as my favorite park because, like, Epcot's incredible. Which parks have you been to?
I've been to them all.
You've been to them all?
Mm-hmm.
I hate Animal Kingdom.
Well, I mean, it's like a glorified zoo.
Yeah.
And so, for little kids, I can see,
like Dino Land USA.
Well, they don't have that, do they?
Yeah, that's an Animal Kingdom.
Well, I know that on the sign for Animal Kingdom, there was something that they were supposed to do that they didn't. Because they're like all these different animals, but there's also other stuff mixed in. I thought it was the dinosaurs. So maybe that was just when I was there.
Maybe just. When I was there was a place called Dino Land USA.
And so it looked
all
like
dinosaurs.
Live dinosaurs walking around.
No, it was like cartoonish dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. Well, so that I don't recall that. I wonder if it's new.
Were you there whenever they had the Avatar place built? Pandora, the movie Avatar, the blue cat people.
I really don't know, David. I don't remember that.
Yeah, because Animal Kingdom sucks, so you don't remember anything.
Right.
Okay, that's so harsh. That's so harsh.
Well, I mean, it's worth having because they do have live animals, and
which is very nice.
Yeah, the place, the lodge or whatever that's there, like you can giraffes come up to your balcony and eat from your hand.
Yeah.
So it's an experience that some people want.
Right.
But you just won't go back.
I did enjoy the animals there, and it was very, very cool to see just animals running around at your feet. Like, they're not really caged up or anything. It's like, wow, this is like I could see the magic of that, of like, we're in Animal Kingdom. Animals are here. Oh my gosh, there's a freaking monkey just running around. Hey, hi, Mr. Monkey. Like, that was super cool to see. But this is a personal gripe with Animal Kingdom. The big thing everybody kept telling me was, oh my god, it's so amazing because they have Pandora, which is based on the Avatar movie by James Cameron. You gotta go see it. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. I hate that movie. I hate that movie.
Why do you hate it so much?
Because it's before Avengers Endgame, it was the highest grossing movie of all time.
So why does that make you hate it?
Because screw that movie. It's like the popular kid at school. We're like, why do people like you? I hate you. It's like that. That's sort of my feeling towards Avatar. Because it's like, why are you the highest grossing movie of all time? You're just like this blue cat people movie. What? Have you ever seen the movie?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that question.
It's okay if you say no.
I will say no.
Good.
So don't see it. Yeah?
Don't see it. Don't get the movie any more freaking money.
No, what I do know is that it was groundbreaking in its effects.
It was. That's why I made so much. That's why I made so much money, because it was like the first like big 3D movie. I don't like the fact. It just bothers me that it's like the only reason you made so much money is because of a gimmick. It's so like superficial. That's my problem with it. It's so superficial. When in reality, it's just Pocahontas with blue cat people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it's about instead of John Smith coming to America meeting Pocahontas, it's this guy. They go to another planet, and the white people who come to the planet, like the people from Earth, they're like, we're gonna cut down the natural forest and then all the people who live there, these blue cat people who are like, oh, like bongo, like those kind of people, and like, no, but the spirits flow, and we're all, and they have intercourse by like connecting belly button, like they're like strings come out of their belly buttons and they connect, and then they go into this like trance like state with like I'm moving my arms around in a flowing motion. It's very spiritual and all that kind of stuff like that. And
sounds like it's right up my alley.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Yes, you were. You just chose not to. So
No,
that's
I don't.
why I
No,
said
but I mean, No, it's not right up your alley because I don't. I would assume that a long thing doesn't come out of your belly button.
No, but I meant the whole spiritual connection.
The spiritual thing, yes, but this is so superficial and ridiculous.
Like they were almost making fun of the spiritual world.
I would say that they weren't trying to make fun of it, but it comes off as like, shut up, whatever, man. Like, and then of course like this white guy who's like a soldier, he goes there and he learns about the spiritual ways, and his eyes are opened, and they're like, no. We will not take over. We will not cut down this tree because this tree contains the souls of 1,000 generations. No, it doesn't. Shut up. But it's like, but you're right. Don't cut down that poor tree. But it's just this weird blue cat people movie. And
I must ask. So the character who is the John Smith character, you don't remember his name?
No.
But does he develop some kind of belly button situation? So
yes, because they actually, in order to like navigate this world, it's like this jungle world where like, everything's bizarre. Everything's huge trees and it's bizarre and it's this jungle world. In order to like navigate it properly and like move around and like actually survive there, the humans either get in a big mech, like a big like robot, because the natives there, the blue people, they're like super tall and huge. Or they go into this machine that transports their soul and mind into the body of one of the blue people.
Hence Avatar.
Yes, that's their avatar. Yes, that's
okay. So
that's where his belly button thing comes from. And then he falls in love with the princess there.
So he wants to leave his spirit in the avatar.
Yes, he wants to like leave. He wants to live in that body forever. And
is that a possibility?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fine. They could do that. And now he wants to stay like that, stay with this woman, and also stop the Earthlings from colonizing it for like some kind of mineral they're after or whatever. Right. You know, it's literally Pocahontas. It's the white man come and they want to kill all of the natives, but a white man falls in love with the native and changes sides and
Colors of the Wind.
Yes, Dances with Wolves, etc. Timeless story.
Yeah.
Timeless story. And you know what? I'm being harsh on this movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's fine. It's beautiful, but it's so superficial that's why my problem with it.
I understand.
And also because everyone was like, no, you gotta go check out Pandora. It's so beautiful. I'm like, I don't care.
What was that like?
It was cool, actually, because it's like, so it's a section of the park in Animal Kingdom that is modeled to look like the planet Pandora, where Avatar takes place. So it's like this huge jungle with these giant bizarre plants and like blue lights everywhere and these weird looking creatures, and it was pretty cool. It was cool, but it's just I wasn't engaged in it really. So I was kind of like, this is okay.
So isn't the Lion King show at Animal Kingdom?
I believe, yes, it is.
Because I do have to say, we were walking around and I think we asked one of the employees where something was, and she's like, oh, it's right over there, but if you come with me, the show's about to start. She put us on the front row, and I'm a Lion King fanatic.
That's awesome.
We got to see the show and got treated royally.
That's nice.
It was very nice. So I enjoyed that part of the thing, and I'm not a roller coaster person. So that's where the big mountain one where my mind.
Splash Mountain?
No. It's a roller coaster that's in like the Himalayas, and you see the
Everest Expedition. Everest. I did ride that.
And you see the
Yeti.
The Yeti. Thank you.
Yes,
I could not get Yeti out of my head.
I did ride that. Yeah. I'm not a roller coaster person, but I have ridden like very big roller coasters. I'm not afraid of them. I just don't ever like doing it because I'm like, I'd rather spend my time in Disney like walking around and looking at cool stuff. That's what I loved about Disney, is like getting in this magical world, because I'm all about role playing, right? D&D. So I want to be like, that's right. And like if I cared about Avatar, I'd be like, that's right, I'm an Avatar chilling in I think they're called the Na'vi. I think that's what the race is called, the Na'vi. But yeah, that's I saw in Animal Kingdom. I saw Finding Nemo the musical, which was a blast. One, because it actually was pretty good. And I love, like seeing stuff on stage and seeing how they do things. The way they did Nemo was they had a guy. And this is what I've learned about theaters. You have to be, and this is what I've noticed, people don't get still. You have to be unapologetic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's right. I'm sorry that we couldn't build a CGI stage, but here's what it is, and then you do it. And that's something that you taught me and I learned how to do, where it's like, yep, that's right. Sorry we have a trash bag as our background, but this is the play, and you're doing the play now. Get over it.
And people loved it.
And people love it. If you are unapologetic about it, people get over it. But what I've seen is that like students are like, no, but we have to make sure that it blah blah blah, but it doesn't. I'm like, steal it, whatever. Yeah. So there's people. They're playing the fishes, right? And they're not fish people, obviously. So this guy, to play Marlin, he wore white pants and an orange shirt, and he wore a little hat with a flippy thing on it. And he was like, I'm Marlin. And he held up a big puppet that was Marlin. And he would move the lips and stuff. It was like very actually intricate. You could tell like the buttons. And they're running around, like, and they're not trying to hide, like, they're not, like, yeah, you can see them. There's no freaking way that they would possibly do everything they were doing without seeing the people. Like, are they going to do the whole thing, like, from behind a curtain? Like, yes, you can see them. And yes, they're singing on stage. Deal with it. And whenever they're unapologetic about it, you get past it. You just enjoy the show.
Right.
It's sort of like, yeah, they can see you moving the set. Yeah. They know the set moves. Like, it's like, I know that there's not actually a floating fish, okay? I'll get past it. And guess what, kids? If you're like, oh, the kids, you see the illusion for the kids. If a kid sees the dude and a kid sees the puppet, and the kid thinks the puppet's real, the kid is still going to think the puppet's real, even if there's a dude running around.
And I'll just jump in real quick. The Lion King on Broadway, they have the full face showing, and then the mask sits on top of the head with the face of the character. So you see the face of Mufasa, and then you see the actor's face who is voicing and singing Mufasa, who's up here, doesn't move. The Mufasa face is a mask. But it absolutely works because you understand that this is a character playing the character of the mask sitting on top of his head or her head. And it's just one of the most beautiful. No, unfortunately, I've never actually seen it. But I've seen clips and I've seen many, many pictures and even taught about the costumes because they are phenomenal. The way they transform the people into the animals. They did so much with costumes to change the shape of the human form to look like the animal on stage and on Broadway. They were not able to do that in Disney, but they still had very colorful and just ethnic, all of the just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. I enjoyed it very much. So,
that's really cool.
It is.
And that's exactly like, we know that there's a person, like,
and that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
The magic of the theater is that you know there's a person there doing these things. Yes. That's what makes it cool. And
yeah, well, there are Broadway shows like what you're talking about. It's the Sesame Street type one. I forget the name of it. Avenue G, something like that. And there are people working the puppets, and the puppets talk. And I mean, it gets kind of explicit with the puppets, but you still have the person working the puppet, and you just start watching the puppet. I mean, you know the person's there making them move around and hug and whatever else they do, but it's just how they show the action, and it works fine.
And it works fine because you gotta do what you gotta do in theater.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that show. That was a blast. Also, I love the memes of like, because the puppets looked really creepy, and so like I really enjoyed that of getting really close-up pictures of the puppets and sending them to my friends. And it's like, have you seen my son? And it's just this weird picture of Marlin. That was a lot of fun.
Now, what kingdom was that in?
Animal Kingdom.
So, Nemo also was an Animal Kingdom.
Finding Nemo,
and
the musical.
Lion King.
But the thing is, there's actually like a whole park of Nemo in Epcot.
Okay, that's why.
But Finding Nemo, the musical, was in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, Animal. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't enjoy Animal Kingdom too much. I'm probably not going to go back there. I'm happy I went, and I'm happy I saw what it was. Yeah. There were monkeys that were really fun to watch.
Oh, you posted a bunch about those. Those are those monkeys that make that that is so deep in your, and they had this huge sax in their throat or whatever it is, and it echoes literally for miles. They are so loud.
You hear it all across the park.
Absolutely.
I loved it. That was my favorite part of Animal Kingdom. And Magic Kingdom, I've been quite a few times, but my mom's never been, so of course we had to go to Magic Kingdom.
Well, it's like seeing something through a child's eyes.
Right, exactly. It was very cute. I rode the teacups with her.
Aww.
Which, like, I'm not going to ride the teacups, but, like, she wanted to ride the teacups.
So you're going to ride the teacups with your mom?
Teacups, yeah.
Yes.
another highlight was we actually did a dinner. Well, it was a breakfast with a lot of characters, a character breakfast, and Mary Poppins, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter all came by our table. That was really cool. I love seeing the actors staying in character and adapting and talking like my mom, Mary Poppins was like, so where y'all going? My mom was like, oh, we're going to Magic Kingdom. And she was like, oh, don't forget to ride the carousel. It's my favorite. And then Mary Poppins, of course. Transforms a carousel into an actual horse. So just like on your feet. Like that was very, very cool to see. Never broke character, acting, just right in front of you.
Well, here's another question. You posted something that went, Mary Poppins. And this is a Hey Boomer moment for me because what was that a picture of?
Okay, so that's right. I forgot about that. But okay, so it's a Marvel movie called Guardians of the Galaxy. And in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so the second one, there's the scene where, just sort of the context of it, there's one guy from Earth who knows what Mary Poppins is, right? Name's Peter. And he's with this alien, and this alien is holding up this thing that looks like an umbrella. It looks like Mary Poppins holding her umbrella floating away. And Peter goes, you look like Mary Poppins. And Yondu goes, is he cool? And Peter goes, the coolest. And then so Yondu says, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. This is a very funny, iconic scene.
In Guardians
of the Galaxy. So, the joke that I made was I posted a picture before the breakfast of Yondu and said, can't wait to have breakfast in Disney today with Mary Poppins. And then while I was at the breakfast, I took a picture of Mary Poppins and said, wait a minute. Which was comedy gold.
To people who
understood it, yes.
Not the Hey Boomer people.
Not the boomers, no. But
well, I guess the Guardians of the Galaxy is not necessarily a generation gap. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, you just haven't seen it. Yeah, so, okay, non-Marvel fan, I guess. Yeah. Now, the people who thought it was, text me like, this is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Because I'm like, wait a minute. That's fun. So that was what I did. That was the highlight of my whole trip. Was making that joke.
And that was in Magic Kingdom. Where did y'all have the breakfast?
We had a breakfast at our resort. So before we went to Magic Kingdom, we were at a resort, had the breakfast.
Cool.
And then
you told me that before you left. I remember that.
Yes.
That she wanted to specifically meet Goofy? No?
I wanted to meet Goofy, which I did.
You did. But you said y'all are having breakfast at this resort because Mom wants to meet
Mary Poppins.
It was because of Mary Poppins.
It was Mary Poppins,
okay,
yeah.
All right.
My mom bought a ton of Mary Poppins stuff. She's obsessed with it. And it's great. I'm very happy for her.
Did she like the new one?
I don't know.
Did she see it?
I'm sure she did.
Okay.
I just don't remember if she liked it necessarily or not.
I'm curious.
I'll have to ask her, and I'll let you know.
Curiouser and curious.
Sure.
All right, continue.
I don't have much to say about Magic Kingdom because I want to get on to Epcot.
Go right ahead.
Which is, but what's your favorite park, by the way? I've already said Epcot's mine. What's your favorite park?
I'm not a favorite kind of person. I will say that Animal Kingdom would probably be my least. I've only been 3 times, and once was on my honeymoon, and then twice with the kids. And so let me just think about what we did while we were at each park. I don't like Epcot the way you do, but I do like the educational aspect of it in all the countries. I do like that about Epcot. I like how much is offered in Magic Kingdom, and it's just the iconic stuff there. It's just huge and hard to deal with. Hollywood Studios...
It's a very small park. That's a small park.
But there's so much there.
I know, it's packed.
There's so much there. We actually tried to go to that tour, the back lot tour. Did you get to do that? Where they show you props? Because I think we missed the times for that. And I was really disappointed. I would have loved to have... That's like drama, teacher gold, just to see all the different things. But there was... I'm just going to go ahead and tell my story. I was going to save it, but I'll tell it now. But when the last time we went, the kids were older. And so we walked into... Hollywood Studios, and immediately Sam and Amelia just ran away from us because they went and got in line for the what's the Steven Tyler roller coaster?
Rock and
Roller Coaster.
Yeah,
and we were like,
Aerosmith.
Oh, well, okay. And so they just had decided, they didn't even tell us, they just went and got in line. So we were like, well, we don't want to ride that.
Yeah.
So we had time to just kind of roam the park, and that was very cool. And we ended up at this place, I don't remember the name of it, but we were hungry. And it wasn't some big fancy restaurant. And we went in and they served like cheese and fruit plates. And we just sat, and it was kind of like a little cafe. I think maybe jazz was playing, but it was just like a little almost being in Europe, kind of just like sit down and relax. And I was like, wow, this is different. Because normally at Disney, you go here, make sure you get in line, get your fast pass, make sure you're at your restaurant on time to get your food, and then it was just like, we can just sit here and eat some cheese. And I really remember that. And it just happened to be in Hollywood Studios. And gave us time to really look at like all the different things that we could try to do and kind of map out what we wanted in addition to all the stuff we'd already fast passed and everything else. But so I enjoy the vibe of Hollywood Studios, like where everything is. And they've changed it completely because now, I don't know if you know this, you probably do, but it used to have the big Mickey dressed with like the magic hat, like when he was in Fantasia. And they got rid of all that when they changed it to Star Wars. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now when you walk in, it's all Star Wars stuff, and that's new. And it's kind of cool because, I mean, if you can have Harry Potter World, and that actually happened before Star Wars became a theme park, that's some crazy business right there. I mean, Star Wars could have been a theme park, 30 years ago. So for it to take this long for that to become a thing, I'm just thrilled that it is a thing. And they were just really starting with Star Wars stuff when we went, which was right before the flood, so 2016. And
it just opened this year.
Right, so they were just kind of transitioning the park, because I guess they had just acquired Star Wars or whatever.
Right.
But, so that's my story. As far as, what do I like best? I like those three parks for different reasons. And I think, personally, if I go back, I'm going to try to make it to where I don't overplan my day. And I just go to the park and enjoy what I enjoy. Because you're going to have a crowd no matter when you go, no matter what time of year, day. You just have to understand there's going to be a bunch of people. And just try to enjoy some things without like rushing through to try to get to every whatever. Because all you do is rush all day. Like we were talking on the last podcast, living through the screen. And Disney, if you're like running from place to place trying to hit your schedule for every single second, then all you do is remember how frantic you were. And you don't, like, that's why I remember so much to just sit down and let's have some grapes and some cheese.
Yeah.
And that was really nice. I enjoyed that.
That's why I don't like to ride a whole lot of rides. Let's get a fast pass for them. If I get a fast, I'll ride it because I can just get in and get out. But I don't like taking up so much time.
And hours
of waiting. Yeah, that's why I didn't ride the new Star Wars ride, Smugglers Run, no matter how badly I wanted to. I didn't because it was just too long. It wasn't worth it.
Yes. No, so tell me.
I love Disney because of how you can do that. Like, you can go and just be like, let's just see what's going on. Because actually, even though it's the biggest park in the world, it is wildly efficient. Like, takes no time at all to get into the... You never wait. You're never... Getting into the park, you're never waiting in line. You're just going. You're scanning the bracelet, going. It's wildly efficient. Kind of scary because I think Disney's going to take over the world one day and everything's going to be Magic Band.
Well, it's going that way.
Exactly. Disney owns everything. But, because I've been to other theme parks that are not nearly as big and it takes hours upon waiting to get in. It's like, what the heck, dude? But you go to Disney, it's like, you're in. You go. Do whatever. Boom. World's your oyster. Go. I love it. Because they're trying to... Magic. It's magical. And it does feel magical. I really enjoy that. And I love, walking around and being like, okay, well, let's just see what there is. I love stopping and looking at every single shop, even though most of them have the same things. But when I look at every one of them, I love the way the buildings look. I love being in that environment. That's why I love Hollywood, because it's like, oh man, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard. I'm in front of the Chinese Theater right now. That was so cool to see. So I enjoyed Hollywood a lot, and Epcot's my favorite. But I'll get to that next, because I'm going to talk about Star Wars Land,
yes.
Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios. So first thing I did, got to Hollywood Studios, made a beeline to meet Chewbacca, because it was a 10-minute wait. And I met Chewbacca. Greatest thing ever. Big furry hugs. And then I went to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I tell you, absolutely blown away. All my expectations met and then raised. A second you walk in, it is like this whole other world that you're in. You're in Star Wars, and you look around you, every wall is like, it's Star Wars. You're Star Wars. I wish I was dressed up like it. I could just go. I would love to just dress up and just go hang out in there all day, which I did for most of it. Whenever it was like a lot of we had a lot of downtime of my sister wanted to do something I didn't want to do. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go walk over to Star Wars Land. Y'all can find me there, and I would just go sit in the corner of a cantina drinking blue milk and just watching everything happening and hearing the music and just experiencing the world, role playing. It was amazing. I loved it. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is essential. And getting to see everything. I mean, the Millennium Falcon right in front of you. Mm-hmm. Going to the marketplace and looking around like this is just like the movie. It's all crowded and crazy. It's like the marketplace, and I'm buying stuff. And I bought a Coke, and it comes in this weird little bottle. Everything there is written in a different, like in a Star Wars font, and everything looks Star Wars. Whenever you purchase something, it's not $5; it's 5 credits. The Coke, like I said, the Coke came in a weird bottle. Now, the part that I was weirdly most excited for, my family was really like, why are you so excited, was the milk stand. So when they first announced Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the first thing I did was, I hope they have a milk stand. And they did. They have a whole stand just for milk. Now, to explain to a non-Star Wars fan.
I'm just looking at you. I do like Star Wars, but what?
In Star Wars A New Hope, they're drinking milk, and it's blue. And in Star Wars The Last Jedi, Luke milks this weird animal, and it's green milk that comes out. So it's like, what? So they have a milk stand, but they have blue milk and green milk. And you can get it with alcohol. Of course, I got it without alcohol. And I got some blue milk in a cool little cup, just like the cup they drink from in the movies. And it's just actually what it is. It's like a smoothie. It's like blue raspberry smoothie is what it was, basically. I didn't try the green one. I don't know what that is. But I got the blue milk, and I'm sitting there, leaning up against a wall of a cantina, sipping on blue milk. Greatest moment of my life was drinking that blue milk. My family was like, you getting the blue milk? My dad's a huge Star Wars fan. Even he was like, he wasn't there with us, but I was texting him about it, and he was like, why are you so excited for the milk? I'm like, I gotta get that blue milk. I made a beeline to that milk stand, dude.
So to you, that was becoming the role.
That was it. Like, I'm drinking blue milk. Yeah, I got a picture of me sitting over a counter with my blue milk, the counter of a cantina, like, sipping my blue milk, and like, this is it. I'm living the world. I'm drinking blue milk. And I went and got a Rancor wrap, which is, a Rancor is a creature in Star Wars. The Rancor wrap is just sausage, but like, it's like sausage, like a sausage and like with a pita bread and whatever. It was delicious. And I'm sitting there eating my Rancor wrap, drinking my blue milk, sitting in the corner of a cantina. Like, this is the greatest moment of my life. Also had a run-in with Kylo Ren, got up on my face while I was sipping my blue milk. He was like, I'm looking for a traitor. You him? And I just sipped my blue milk, and it was like, I'm sipping blue milk. And he walked. It was so cool. So I love Star Wars Land. I didn't build a droid because it was $100. No. I didn't build a lightsaber because I already have a custom-built lightsaber. So, of course, I have a custom-built lightsaber. So I didn't do any of that stuff. What?
So David has mentioned, and we will actually talk in much more detail next week about Mandalorian. And that character in Star Wars was...
This was a new character.
No, the one in Star Wars that was the bounty hunter.
Oh, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. So did you see him? Or
no, I didn't see
anything related to the Mandalorian at all?
No, I didn't see anybody in Mandalorian armor or anything. I mean, I saw ads for the Mandalorian, but
So they haven't included... Well, Boba Fett's kind of big, so...
Well, the fans really like him a lot, but he didn't have a very big role in the movies, necessarily.
Okay.
He's one of those side characters where it's like... It's actually kind of like, why does everybody love him so much? Like, everyone just gravitated toward him, and he had, like, no lines in the movies, but Boba Fett's a very popular character. And now, in The Mandalorian, it actually isn't Boba Fett.
Right, but it's where he came from, isn't it? Or not? Or are they just bounty hunters that just happen to also do the same?
Well, the Mandalorians are actually, like, a race of people.
Right.
That's, like, those are aliens, and they wear the same armor. Sort of in the same way that the U.S. military all wears, like, similar armor.
Okay.
And so the Mandalorian is just a Mandalorian who is a bounty hunter.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's not Boba Fett. It's just a Mandalorian.
Okay.
Who is a bounty hunter.
Well, we'll just
keep
going.
I wish there would have been someone in Mandalorian armor. That would have been cool. But they were kind of actually... they were trying to stick to...
Original Star Wars.
Well, Boba Fett is original Star Wars. They were trying to stick to...
Good.
They were trying... It was actually kind of impressive. They were trying to stick to modern Star Wars.
Oh.
Of, like, stormtroopers, and Kylo Ren are walking... Darth Vader isn't walking around, because Darth Vader's dead.
Okay.
So it's Kylo Ren walking around.
I hear you.
Kylo Ren's here. Like, it was actually kind of impressive. It's like... The time period, it's like Star Wars Galaxy that takes place at this point. Mm-hmm. Between episodes 6 and 7. So between the original trilogy and the new stuff. Kylo Ren's walking around. And there's stormtroopers walking around. That's what's happening right now. Understand? They really stuck to it. It was kind of impressive. So that's probably why I didn't see
I understand.
anything like that.
Okay. But, so that's Hollywood Studios. And you haven't talked about Epcot. So now it's Epcot.
Epcot's my favorite one because Epcot, the whole theme of Epcot, which is where I got your present from, by the way.
David
Got it
me
in
a
China.
present.
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
So Epcot, of course, and there's like the Earth and space. I'm not even gonna talk. I don't care. The Earth and sea parts of Epcot, I don't care. I care about all the different countries you get to go tour. So of course in Epcot there's all these different countries. Every there's like sections of the park that are all split up by country, and you can walk around the world as they call it. And in China they had like a shop, and it had this golden elephant, and it was the Chinese elephant of good fortune. Mm-hmm. And I saw it and of course thought of Donna.
Right.
So I brought Donna a little present from China.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
I love
we
it.
opened it before. I was gonna wait to like pull it out of my backpack until we were recording, but I was just too excited to wait. But I love Epcot. The reason I love Epcot is because it's all about like, man, isn't Earth cool? Isn't the world cool? Look at all this cool stuff, and look at how like together we can be, and look at how great everyone is. It's literally Star Trek. There's this ride called Space. Have you ever ridden Spaceship Earth? It's the one in the big globe. Yes. I love that ride because it's like, look at all the different things that all these different groups of people did to make what we have now. And I love picking your future. It's like this beautiful thing. And it's like, isn't the world cool? That's the whole point of Epcot isn't the world freaking dope?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yes, it is very dope. Look at all these cool things all these different people did to make your life possible today. Now go check out what the world's like. Just go check it out. It's cool, isn't it? And there's no bad stuff. Just all like, eat some good food. And of course, my favorite part was eating around the world. I ate something from every single country. I gained many pounds this trip because I gotta have tacos in Mexico, and I gotta have rice from China, and crepes from France, and sushi from Japan, and pizza from Italy, etc.
Some of the restaurants there are just...
Oh my god, I know. I love it. Fish and chips from England was my favorite. That was really cool. That was delicious. But I love walking around the world and seeing all the different stuff. What's your favorite country in Epcot?
Oh, a favorite thing again.
Sorry. Which one do you like the best? Who's your favorite child?
You.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I know. I can't answer it any other way. So, now you've been to Epcot how many times total? 3?
Twice. No? Only twice. Only twice to Epcot.
I thought you'd been to Disney 3 times.
I've been to Disney 3 times.
But you didn't go to Epcot the first time?
No, because I was like a kid who had no control. And my stepmom was like, we're going to Magic Kingdom only.
I understand. How old were you?
Like 11.
Okay. So, when you went last time, as compared to this time, did you see anything you haven't seen, or that
like
you
this
really...
time notice anything different?
Yeah, different, yeah.
I wouldn't say I noticed anything different, no.
Was there any place you wanted to make sure you did see?
Yes, all of them. Because...
All of them?
Well, because the first time I went, I wasn't... I don't want to dog on the rest of my family. But, like, when I go on vacation with my mom and stepdad, and my sister, there's only 4 of us, and it's like... I can sort of, like, do what I want, I have more control, and you know... It's just this time I had the availability to, like... really stop and look at everything and control.
You were kind of by yourself. No?
Yes.
Okay. Like, it was basically like, meet me back here at 3 o'clock or whatever, and you could go do whatever you wanted kind of thing, or not?
Well, we all stuck together.
Okay.
But it's more like... It was more like, if I want to stop in China, my family's going to stop in China with me and check it out. So we made sure... And we all had the same goals in mind of wanting to see everything. So we stopped at every single country... and really looked around everything. Like, we went through it. Like, we wanted to see everything that was in every country and actually explore it and check out the shops and buy stuff and try the food there. Nobody's getting angry about who's using the food points and blah, 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 because we're all just sharing and happy and great. So this time I got that really... This is the first time I really got to do that.
And so did you see something you hadn't seen before then?
Actually, yeah, the Chinese building I sent a picture of.
Right.
That's the first thing I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that last time because I just wasn't able to stop and go up there and look. And a couple parts of Japan as well. Like that, yeah. But that's really it.
So I read somewhere that there is space in the Epcot circle of countries for, I think, 5 more. You would not know it because of the way they mask it, but there's room for other countries to add in, which is very cool.
Yeah. What country do you think should be added?
I don't remember what's there and what's not. So
in there. There's Norway, Mexico, France, the UK, China, Japan, and Morocco.
That's it?
I think that's it.
Well, the USA.
Oh, Canada. Oh, and the USA.
Yeah.
Canada and the USA.
Okay.
And I think that's it. And there's like a little part that's like sort of Africa. But they don't even they label it the outpost. They don't even call it Africa. They're like, that's the outpost, but it's like Africa.
Well, Africa's a continent, so maybe...
Right, but I mean...
no, what I'm saying is maybe they could add a country, a specific African country. And maybe Egypt. They haven't because... Yeah, well, Egypt would be cool, just the pyramids and all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
that would be very
Egypt.
cool. Yeah, Egypt would be very cool.
I want India. I mean, there's Morocco, but like, why isn't there India?
Yeah.
That I want to try some curry.
Oh, I love Indian food.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
So delicious.
Yeah.
What else could I would love to see? Let me think. I guess like
Did you say Italy?
Oh, wait, Italy's there. Italy is there.
Say,
Italy's
Italy.
there.
Greece?
No, there's no Greece.
See, because I love Greek
boom,
food.
that's what they should.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like
Greece is the
Greek,
next one they should do.
wedding type dance banquet thing
Right.
where people come through and oppa, or however they say, oppa,
Right.
oppa, throw plates. Ooh, they can throw a plate throwing stand.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Get
dangerous.
some stress out.
Bad things might happen.
Absolutely.
That exists. Have you seen those? Like that, like
I've heard
break
of them.
rooms.
Yes.
You want to go to one?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's very helpful. Just I could completely side note right here, but before our play this year, we went in the back and somebody just said, "I feel like I just need to scream." And so before the show, I'm like, "Y'all, I just feel it. We just need to scream. Let's just primal scream." And we did. I mean, we just like all of us, and it lasted for a long time. And I'm telling you, the next day it was like a different cast. They're like, "Man, that really helped."
So what you're saying is that next play, you should go on a field trip to I'm sure the school would definitely allow that.
Oh, yeah. So I just do it in the locker room. I just go to Dollar Tree and buy some
buy some
cheap
plates. That's a horrible idea.
It most certainly is.
I can think of 5 different kids right now who would definitely grab the glass and just start running around with it. And think it was funny, but in reality it's like, what are you doing?
But so the idea of like that release, whatever it is, whether it's throwing a plate or screaming or finding some other, non-harmful way to do that, it's so necessary. And again, complete side note, but I feel like so many people have such pent-up stress and they don't express it. So yes, I think that would be a lot of fun. Excuse me. So anyway, back to Epcot.
Putting on my Japanese headband.
Japanese headband. So I've been noticing you wrap that around your head several times. So
I love Japan. Japan's my favorite country there.
So tell us why.
Because it's a whole different friggin' planet. Going into that big store that they have in Japan in Epcot, it is like an alien world. It's like, what is all this crap? Like, everything's anime and this language it's insane. And I love it. I love it. I'm not a weeaboo. Do you know what a weeaboo is? So a weeaboo, and this is not like a made up word for it. This is like what they call themselves. A weeaboo is a non-Japanese person who is so obsessed with Japanese culture and art and anime and stuff like that they have completely changed their lives around that.
Well, I can relate to that from the Korean culture because I have a lot of students who are just way into K-pop and they just like everything.
That's a good example. Yeah.
So Korea is not a country in the circle. So that would be interesting.
That'd be cool. I like Korea. North or south?
No, that. K-pop, wherever the K-pop people come from.
It's from south. Okay. If you're talking, a good rule is if we're talking about Korea and talking about like going to it and being involved in it, we're talking about south.
Okay, well,
we're talking about
thank you for that tidbit. I was unaware.
Not the one with the evil dictator.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd still be a fun country to go to, wouldn't it? In Epcot, you go there, but you just can't leave.
Yeah, and nobody ever hears from you again.
Make it happen, Disney.
That's what we're saying.
But yeah, that's what a weeaboo is, and I'm not big into anime. I don't watch anime, but I love I was about to say I love Japan.
Okay.
In Epcot because of like this, it's just so bizarre.
What things were the most bizarre? Like, what is so different? And you're like. Key things that you really
because you walk in and everything's so bright and colorful and loud and everything's like everything has little anime pictures like smiling and laughing and you have this weird music going on and everything, Hello Kitty, everything, and like the drinks are so weird. Like, okay, you ever had Japanese soda? So every other country you go to, you order a soda, you get a soda. But you go to Japan, and the Japanese sodas, they're in these weirdly shaped bottles.
Like, and they have a bead. Yeah, we got one at the sushi place one time. I was trying to figure out if that's what you were talking about.
That's what I was talking. Yeah, that ball, and it's like.
And what is the point of that?
I think the ball being stuck up there keeps it
keeps the fizz in.
Keeps the fizz in. Yeah, so when you pop the ball out, and it's just fun. It's just
something
it's a fun little ball. Yeah, it's just different. It's just bizarre, and that's just an example of like, well, this is a whole other planet, dude.
I see.
What's going on in Japan?
That's so interesting because so much of what we have around us can be expressed so many different ways, and we just get so close-minded to that. So the whole Stay Creative business that we started is to just embrace a new way to think about anything. Just anything. Like you could look at the clothes you wear, like how could this be different? You look at how you wash your face or just whatever. I mean, somewhere in another country, somebody's doing the same thing in a different way or using a different product or whatever. And people just get so close-minded and think that they're right and other people are wrong. But there's just so many other ways to express and
well, I'm always right. So.
Well, okay. Well, as long as we keep that straight.
Right. I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. I've thought about that a lot, too. Like, how, like, it's so weird how in America, it's like we don't have the metric system. Mm-hmm. We use miles instead of kilometers. And also how we drive on the right side of the road. And also we... What's the other thing I'm thinking of? There's another example. Oh, Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Almost every other country in the world does Celsius and the metric system, and they drive on the left side of the road. We're the ones doing it wrong, quote unquote. So we're the ones doing it wrong.
The whole right and left thing I've never thought about. I knew in England it was opposite, but it's everywhere else as well.
In China, I know in China it is also, and in Australia, from my understanding, at least everywhere else, most places else I've seen, yes. In Ireland, in like European countries, like most other places, you drive on the left side of the road.
I wonder why. I'm just trying to understand why it would make any difference either way, and why one country has chosen to do it the opposite of everyone else.
I don't know.
It's really interesting. And I will tell you, as a 54-year-old perspective, when I was in elementary school, they were pushing hard for the country to switch to the metric system.
Really?
That was the thing. Like, it's time to... All the textbooks were about, you have to start learning this. And U.S. was like, nah.
Yeah, we're America.
Not doing it, nah. Not doing it.
Give us your oil.
So that's 50 years ago, or almost 50 years ago...
I just saw a meme that said, like, hey guys, when all the boomers die, you want to switch to the metric system?
See?
It's like, why? But
honestly, it wasn't the boomers. It was the people who taught the boomers. Because they were teaching us.
Right.
But it was that generation who just was like, we're not going to switch
like the boomers
before our parents,
right.
our teachers.
And now the boomers are... So what it's saying is, like, when the most recent generation dies and we're what's left, you want to switch to the metric? So it's like...
Because, if we had been taught that, and it would have actually been in stores and whatever... From the time we were raised, we would have switched to it because we were taught it. It was the transition time.
Well, I don't want to switch.
It was what we know. So.
Right, because that's what I know. And I don't want to, because I said so.
Right.
But I see what you're saying, though. It's like... It's like, everyone... There is no right or wrong way to do the things. There's just
that is one of the most common sources of conflict. Is that I'm right and you're wrong instead of why can't there be both? And so I think I mentioned on the podcast last time how I'm different from a lot of people, but my perspective has always been a little bit of both, all the way down to my blood type, as I've explained. So, I just like to find how you can take two ideas and use them both some kind of way, like not so that you're right and I'm wrong, just how can we both be right in some way, It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, what's an example of that? So I can really grasp what you're saying.
I'm just talking about anything, but in my world, I grew up as the middle sister. I think any middle child can understand how you always feel in the middle, even though that might not be true. You just always feel like you're in the middle of everything because you're the middle sister. But Like in class, if two people have ideas about how to do something, I try to listen to both. And I guess I can tie it into playwriting because we wanted to go there too. So I am a really good funnel. I'm a good sifter. Like, people will give me 20 ideas, and I'll listen to all of them because I don't know which ones we need, but they all have merit. And it's interesting how something that somebody might say, and somebody in the class will go, "Oh, well, no, that would never work, blah, blah, blah." But as you're putting the story together from all the different ideas you have, they eventually kind of come around. The way I've written things in the past, it just seems like almost every idea does get used in some capacity. You listen to them all, and you don't ever say no. Now, I do have to say, you have to be able to discern what doesn't fit the context of the story, though, because you obviously can't put in every single detail, but I try to just really encourage everybody to continue to give ideas. So if it's something that won't fit the story itself, that the idea is presented, but I'm like, well, that won't work because of, but what about, and I try to kind of shift their idea into something that would fit in the story. So that's just one thing with playwriting. Let me think other ways I try to see both sides. Just really any argument that we've ever had in class about, like, strong this side, that side. One that just springs to mind, we actually talked about it in one of my yoga workshops when I was going to a yoga class, is the idea that when people have the ritual of the Lord's Supper, that there are all these people who believe that the bread and the wine literally turn into God's flesh and blood, and other people who argue vehemently that it doesn't. And my comment was, why can't you believe both? And my teacher looked at me and went, "Heretic," because she knew exactly what I meant. She sees the idea that there's no reason to argue about that. If you want to believe that the bread and wine you're eating literally turns into flesh and blood, so what?
Yeah, if you believe that, I see what you're saying. So it's not necessarily like, because at first I was like, what, Donna? But it instantly got like, a single person cannot believe that both it literally and literally doesn't, right? Like, you can't believe that you're chewing it and it is and isn't.
I think that I don't know. I feel like there's no reason to say that there's one belief.
Well, no, there's not one belief, but I'm saying, like, okay, let's say I'm chewing a thing and I think that if I'm eating the bread and I think that it actually does turn into the flesh of Jesus Christ, and you think it doesn't, well, then who cares if you think it doesn't? I think it does. But I think that you could believe in your mind that this is a piece of bread. Like, you do believe that. You do believe it. But what you're arguing is that you can't believe that it changes and also believe that it doesn't change. I see what you're saying. You can't be yesing. You can't be hot and cold, yes and you're no, in and you're out, you're up and you're down. You're wrong and it's right, it's black and it's white. Yeah, you can't. Well, okay, so another example. My mind just totally went blank. But I guess what you're saying is, like, if someone else believes something opposite, then why are you arguing about it? Yes. There's no reason. Okay, well, how about evolution? That's an example where you can believe both, in my opinion. Yeah, because I think so. In my opinion, if you want to believe that there is a higher power that created life, and you want to also believe that there is no such thing as evolution, why can't you understand that a being who could create things that evolve to survive? Right. I've never had a problem combining those two at all. I don't see an issue. That makes I totally get what you're saying. Like, why can't you believe both? That, like, so in many cases, I guess there's the whole. It's either yes or no, or like neither, you just said, or neither, or one or the other. Right. So I don't try very well. Okay, as a mother and wife, I will have to say that I do argue that my way is the right way as a human being. So I do try to back off from that when I realize I'm doing it. But I don't always realize I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So as a big idea, I can, have the high ground. But as a human being, living my life, why didn't you do it this way kind of thing? That does come up in my daily life. Well, the question could be, like, why did you do it this way? Well, the answer could be, because I wanted to do it this other way. Right. People can do whatever they want. Theoretically speaking, anybody can do anything they want to do at any moment. But I could kill you. You're correct. And you could do it in any number of ways. Well, I could attempt to. Right. I hear what you're saying. But I will just be honest about myself. And you can talk to my husband about it. Like, why did you do that? Why did you do it like that? Well, if you just do it this way, it'd be easier. So, I find myself falling into that trap. So, but I've married someone who doesn't like conflict.
in that way. And so he'll just be like, and blow it off. Whereas we could just get a knockdown, drag out about it, and people divorce over stuff like that.
How to
unload the dishwasher.
How to unload the dishwasher.
It's stupid.
The most efficient way to do such a thing.
Correct.
Right.
In my opinion. And sometimes I get on the high horse and think that I am right. And
right,
so,
well,
yeah.
When I'm at work and I'm training somebody, I'm telling you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do it that way, it's the wrong way to do it. Some things are objective. It's like, no, that's how you do it. But not necessarily all the time. I've been proven wrong with that too, where I'm like, no, this is how you make espresso. But then, like, no, they make it the other way. But then the customer likes it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Customer likes it anyway.
Right.
So shut up, David. Just let it go.
Well, this has drifted well off topic.
Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World. So were you finished talking about Disney?
I think so.
Okay. So you had said, let me see what time it is. We have a few minutes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Vlad again. So you wanted to ask questions about how the students thought it went. Since I wanted
to know their reactions and what they were saying about it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So they were as thrilled as I was. Because even though it was a really hard road, and even though there were things that we could have polished the diamond some more, because there's always going to be that, it just was so well received, and they were very happy. They got so much good feedback. Some people described it as their best experience on stage, and the people who who had never had a big role before but had a big role, I got kind of a mixed bag from them. I think people were just so tired. We just are coming from a week off, so I didn't really talk to them at all last week. But after the play, when I did see them, they were very excited about it. And I think that going into this next one, because I will lead into what we will definitely be talking about some more in the future podcasts, we're already writing our fine-tuning. We had started writing over the summer, but now we're fine-tuning our second play, which is going to be called River and Juliana, an updated Romeo and Juliet to the 60s, which we talked about last podcast. But the process of the rehearsal is going to have to be decided so that we can avoid the pitfalls that we ran into this time. We're going to have to really discuss some things. Not that it will happen, but I want to say, how do you want to react when there are people at rehearsal who don't know their lines? What are we going to do about people who don't come to rehearsal?
So you're going to have to ask them.
I am going to ask them. And we're going to try to come to some kind of consensus there about, let's figure out how to...
Going to be, is it 3 strikes you're out?
Exactly.
Is it going to be,
right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I like it.
And have a little more accountability, because I'm always very laid back about do it because you want to. And I could be a hard-nosed jerk about, giving harsh, F grades, but I don't want it to be about a grade. Mm-hmm. I want you to do it because you want to do it. And that's what brings out the best in people on stage, in my opinion. But I feel like maybe we need to have if you don't know your lines by this day, this is a major grade, you're going to get an F on it. Because you're messing up everybody.
And if you get 1 F in that class, well, there's not a whole lot of grades going on in theater.
There's not.
And so that could drop you, and then that does, even though it's just theater, it affects your GPA if it's on your schedule.
Right. Which I really don't want to have to do.
Right.
But after what we went through, I'm going to ask them
what their opinions
do you think that would make a difference? Because the weird thing that happened is that I asked them to have their lines ready to rehearse, or actually to recite for me. So I had the only script in the room, and they were reciting their lines for me, and I was prompting, and it was very obvious who knew it and who didn't. And so I said, for the next class meeting, let's just rehearse with our scripts, because at least we're going to be learning our blocking and whatever. Do you think it helps to recite for me? Do you knowing that you have to show me that we want to recite? That was the majority answer I heard. It wasn't the only answer, but I feel like it was just a waste of another class period, because once again, they're reciting and they didn't know it. And so I didn't make it a grade. I was just trying to give them the push they needed to go ahead and learn. And they didn't, and it showed. And I've even had people come and suggest things about, maybe in class you should try this, that, and the other to help them to learn how to move around more instead of just standing there talking. And the answer I have to that is, they were standing there talking because they didn't know their lines. And if they had known their lines in rehearsal, then we would have been able to add that layer. But you were set through both of them. You could tell there were times when they were just looking at each other and going, "Well, yeah,
let's
right." Yeah. And so you don't move and add expression when you don't know what to say. And I have preached that and preach
Yeah,
it.
all the
preached
expression comes after the lines, which
Right.
is why you always
Step
say
one.
you
Step
can't
one.
teach people how to act
If
unless
they
they
don't.
know their lines.
Yes,
And
that
once
is-
they do, then you can add in all the spiciness.
Oh yes.
That's
yes.
the lines are the meat and the potatoes.
Correct.
But then you get the salt and the pepper and the
sauce.
asparagus
The
and the
sauce.
sauce. Yeah, you gotta have the
Gotta have
sauce.
the sauce.
Speaking of sauce, I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen.
Have
you ever
you?
seen Hell's Kitchen?
I believe I have.
I love Gordon Ramsay, and I've been watching a ton of Hell's Kitchen and cooking shows. And I have news for you. I'm quitting the podcast.
Okay.
I'm gonna go be a chef.
Oh, okay. Does he have like a school or a program or something?
Yes,
or?
he does, and I'm gonna go be a chef. So it's been really nice knowing you.
Yeah.
I'm blocking your number.
All right. So we're gonna have to figure out how to dissolve the company,
You
though,
can,
because that's
you deal with it.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
You never hear from me again. I'm gonna be a chef.
So is this a thought in your mind?
No.
But do you want to learn something?
Yeah, I'd love to learn how to cook though. Yeah, better how to cook. I cook amazing grilled cheese. By the way, with Casey, I recorded a video about cooking grilled cheese. Totally gonna upload it and call it creative cooking.
All right.
It's how to make the perfect grilled cheese, and you get to learn my secret. You know what my secret is to the perfect grilled cheese?
Lots of butter.
Yeah, yes. Whenever you think there's enough butter,
Put more.
add more. I
Add
told you
more
that before. That's how you knew.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah.
You're
But this time also, I did 4 slices of bread
Oh.
in one sandwich. So it's really 2 sandwiches. You make one sandwich and you add some more layer. It's complicated, but you can check out how I did that when I upload the video. Which,
How long is the video? Do you remember?
like 2 minutes long.
10?
Like 2.
2. Okay.
2
so
minutes
it's just
long.
a literal how-to. Zoom. This is how you do
Yeah,
it.
like this is just a little. It's actually a competition that we filmed. It's like I'm making mine, she's making hers. Let's see who wins. I won. She even said that mine was the best. So
All right.
it was an amazing grilled cheese.
Right.
So you want some grilled cheese? I'll cook you some grilled cheese.
Well, I'm not eating a lot of bread right now.
Oh,
I've
okay.
been really changing my
Oh, that's
diet
good.
lately.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I haven't.
And actually, any kind of dairy is really not good for you, no matter what
Really?
people say. Yeah.
Really?
So,
I didn't realize. I thought. Well, I never thought it was healthy. But
You grow up hearing that, but I'll say what I said in my first hour. I think it was the day before yesterday. Actually, it was last week. No, last week we were not at school. Okay, so anyway, at some point, I have a student in my homeroom who is lactose intolerant, and he was eating cheese. We eat our breakfast in first hour because they get their breakfast as they come to class. And so he was eating his cheese going, I don't care. It's going to make me sick, but I love cheese. And so then somebody else had cheese. And I'm like, hey, bring it to me. Give it to me. I want that. I love cheese. So he's just sitting there eating cheese,
Oh.
knowing he's going to get up and run to the bathroom at any minute. And somebody said, well, how can you develop a, intolerance to something that's so good for you? I'm like, well, milk from another animal is not good for us. I mean, we're
Right.
the only mammal on the planet that chooses to drink milk from another mammal. I mean, like sometimes, like if there's a stray kitten, a raccoon will raise it or whatever, but it's not made for our system, and it's a huge industry, but it's not good for us.
Well, I've heard that the only food that a human can drink or consume their entire life and actually live, and if it's the only one, is human milk. So
yeah, because it has everything that the baby needs to survive.
Yes.
So it would have everything that you would just need a lot of it.
yeah, you need a lot of it, and you would be very unhealthy, but you'd be alive
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, people can argue this up and down, but I feel like humans are made to be vegetarians. I eat meat and I love meat, but I'm shifting more away from it. And
Not vegan, then?
Not vegan. I do love eggs. I mean, I love cheese. I eat a lot of cheese, but I do also know that dairy is just not great for you.
Uh-huh.
So
Are
anyway,
you trying to eat less meat then also?
I have not eaten a lot of beef for probably 20 years. I'm just not a beef eater. So the meat I eat is mostly chicken or pork, and mostly chicken actually, and I will eat seafood.
I hate pork.
I love seafood. Amelia hates pork, but my
Yeah.
God, do you like ham? You don't like ham?
Not really. What's the point of pork?
Oh,
I just don't understand.
And bacon. Are you
Like-
kidding me?
Chicken. Okay, I like bacon. But
Yeah.
like when it comes down to like a pork chop, like why eat a pork chop if you can eat a steak or a chicken thigh?
The pork chops can be really, really savory.
No, I don't enjoy a pork chop.
It just you haven't had. Well, Gordon Ramsay, you need to learn how to cook it. Because if you
Gordon
cook it the
Ramsay
right
does
way-
have a pork chop on his menu
I'm saying if you
right
cook.
next to his New York strip.
So is there a Gordon Ramsay restaurant at Disney?
Not that I saw. I don't
Because
think
we
so.
went to a restaurant and we didn't talk about the boardwalk. Did y'all do the boardwalk?
No.
Because that's
What's
kind
that?
of its own thing too. It's just a place where you can go to all these shops.
Oh,
and
Disney Springs?
Is that what it's called? Yeah, it was the boardwalk. That's
Right.
what it was originally called, and they
Okay,
switched
yeah.
it to that. You're right. And it has.
Yeah, I
is
did
that
go
the
to
big
Disney
laser
Springs.
tag thing? Is that what it is?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I didn't do that though, but
Yeah, they have a big movie theater there as well.
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
okay.
I love Disney Springs. Lots
Yeah,
of
so
cool shops there.
that's. But honey, whatever restaurant we ate at, I'm trying to remember. It was Wolfgang Puck. Wolfgang Puck. Oh my god!
I had a House of Blues there.
Oh, that was some of the best food I had ever put in my mouth. It was just so. I mean, everybody got something different. We all tasted it. It was like, like you just want to just keep eating it. It was just so.
I
good.
love food. I'm a big food person. You know what I hate? Have you ever heard of this? People call themselves foodies.
Oh, a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
about
I think
to
we've
say,
had this
so you're a
conversation.
foodie.
No, I'm not a foodie. I'm just a person who eats freaking food. I'm a foodie. Oh, so you eat food and you enjoy it, just like every other human on the planet.
Right,
What do you?
right.
And I've met people who like, unironically, seriously call themselves foodies, and it's just like, shut
I
up,
know a lot of people.
you
that,
pretentious.
well, maybe that's what they want to be. A lot of people are pretentious.
Yeah,
They are.
It's just so it's dumb.
It's
calling
dumb.
yourself a
Okay,
foodie.
well let's find the compromise here.
Okay.
So David,
What?
can you just accept that even though you don't like the term foodie, that other people do, and that's what they want to call
No,
themselves?
because okay. So here's the thing. I think you're going to say maybe it's dumb, right? Is that what you just said? I thought you said something like maybe it's dumb. Like maybe it's dumb if I call myself like a Star Wars fan, because everyone. No, it's not dumb because the thing about being a Star Wars fan is not every person is a Star Wars fan. So when you call yourself a Star Wars fan, you're differentiating yourself from other people.
But since every human being has to eat food to
Yes.
survive,
Yes, in order to be alive, you have to eat food.
so if you're a foodie, what most people mean by that, from my understanding, is that you just really like quality, high level.
Oh yeah.
They like food snob. It's kind of another word for food snob, in my opinion.
I guess so.
I think so.
You're right, like a food snob, but then even that's like, yeah, I like good tasting food too, man.
Yeah, but it's almost like they don't want to lower themselves to a standard of McDonald's or whatever. They want
Okay.
to always have the best of the best. And
Oh, and they know a lot about food, maybe.
that to me is what it means.
Okay, that's, you know what, we found the compromise.
See?
That makes a bit more sense.
Okay.
But just some of the people I've met, where it's like, you like food? Oh, you like food?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you like food that tastes good?
Right.
Oh, yeah, no one else does.
Yeah,
You're so unique and quirky.
Let's have a Whopper. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so unique. Yeah, like, what is that? Exactly, like, thumbs, okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, boomer. You know?
Oh, okay.
Okay, foodie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so dumb. If you call yourself a foodie, please leave a comment why.
Yes,
Please
please.
tell me why.
Let us understand.
I just remember one more thing I know we're running out of time, but I want to tell a story. Because I wanted to ask the comment section to explain what happened here, please.
Okay.
This happened today. I was sitting in my dining room. I was sitting in my kitchen eating lunch, and I get a knock on the door, and I look through the window, and it's one of my neighbors, who I don't talk to often, but I recognize her as my neighbor. It's this old lady, and I open the door, and she goes, "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you, but can you help me start my car?" So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe she like just have some car trouble, or, you know, something's wrong, like something's actually wrong with it, and she needs help. Sure, I walk out there, and that's a perfectly reasonable thing to ask. I get over there, and I'm like, so what seems to be the problem? And she's like, oh, can you start my car? And I was like,
Sure. Do you have a key?
okay. So I grab her key,
Mm-hmm.
and I get in the driver's seat. And I'm thinking I'm about to crank it. It's not really going to crank, and then I'm about to open the hood up and see what I see. Because I know, like,
A little bit.
a little bit, right? I just crank the car, and it turns on. She goes,
Chick.
yeah, it just turns on. Perfectly normal. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. And I'm like, uh-huh. And she goes, I just forgot how to turn on my car.
David, how old is this person?
I have no idea.
I mean, are we talking 80s or?
No, she wasn't senile.
Okay.
So she had gray hair, and she could walk and function. So, and I've seen her drive and everything before, so it's like, I was like really confused, and I was like, well, here's how you turn on your car. So I showed her, like, take the key and you put it in the slot here, and you just crank it, and then
it starts.
Then it'll turn on. She goes, oh, thank you. It's just my key looks so much like other things in my car, and I'm like,
What? What?
yeah, she said that. I was like,
Oh.
okay, well, have a nice day. and I walked away because I didn't know what to do. Part of me was kind of like,
do you really need to drive?
yeah, exactly. I was like, do you need to be driving? But I'm not. What am I supposed to, like, call the cops on her? Like, what am I going to do? So I'm like, okay, bye. So I'm so confused. I have no idea what happened there. The only explanation could be, like, she's, like, just old and just forgot. And just actually forgot how to turn on the car.
Are there family members you could tell just so they would be aware?
Not that I know of.
Because that's really kind of scary if somebody who doesn't know how to start a car is driving a car.
Right, yeah. She, like... But I feel like, am I missing something here? That's like so. Like, is someone in the comments going to comment something so obvious?
No, I mean, in my opinion, no.
That's exactly what happened. I'm not exaggerating.
No, I hear you, and I have known people in my family who start forgetting simple things because the onset is happening, and it's so sad to see. So sad.
Yeah.
And you don't know this person, so you don't like when I was visiting my grandparents every week, and they would tell you the same story, sometimes 4 or 5 times.
And I have experienced that naturally. Yeah.
So,
but this person, no, I don't. This is my first time I've ever talked to her.
Yeah, come knock on your door.
Right.
Wow.
But that's a perfectly reasonable thing. If, hey, I need.
Yeah, my car won't start. Yeah, like I need some help, but to not remember how to.
And she knew I was home because my car was in the driveway. So it's she just forgot how to start a car.
Yeah.
So bizarre. You ever forgot how to start a car?
No.
I mean, I understand brain fart moments.
Right. I mean, I've had those many times, but
yeah, but that's not.
That's pretty straightforward, simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have an answer for you there.
Well, if you do in the comments, please let me know, and also let me know if you're a foodie or not.
Right.
And then give me your home address so I can punch you in the face.
Please disregard that last comment. That does not reflect the of
David and Donna of Stay Creative Incorporated.
Yes. LLC, I might add.
LLC.
Speaking of that, we have been talking about our business plan, and we do plan to have wonderful content coming your way.
Yeah.
We'll just have to get it organized.
Yeah.
But we have continued to work on it, and we did, by the way, before the podcast, video ourselves unboxing a fake crate, if you saw that episode. So I got my very own fake crate and did an unboxing video, which will also be on this channel. So please check it out and check out Fake Crate.
And that's going to already be up by the time this podcast goes up. That's the plan, at least, is for that to already be up. So you can go check out our channel, like and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video.
All right.
Are you aware of the notification bell, Donna?
I am most definitely. I watch lots of YouTube.
You do?
I do.
Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Don't want to go there, David.
Okay.
You asked me favorites too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget.
Not a favorite.
I forget.
Not a favorite kind of person. Anyway, I don't really watch YouTubers anyway. If I want to watch YouTube, I'm typing in content.
A specific
or
thing.
music.
Ah, yes. Okay. Well,
so that's how I do. So,
yeah. Well,
anyway.
I'll tell you who my favorite YouTuber is. David and Donna Creative at Stay Creative.
I was looking at you like, excuse you?
Yeah.
Is there someone else I don't know about?
Yeah. Or like, are we really about to start another conversation after another hour?
Well, I think it's time.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's me. So I guess I'll say it.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much for listening to our crazy conversations. This has been Donna.
And David.
Stay creative.